Well, well, well. Welcome. Pause that. Welcome to the weekend. I'm really excited for the weekend, if you can't tell already. So, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be working on the Cupid box tonight, but I will show you a little bit later what was in it because I'm not going to do an unboxing. I have planned to do a live sew with it. And next week I'm going to work on the Open Gates quilt box. So, I might just work on it and show you what the product looked like in a vlog, or maybe I'll do it when I get back from QuiltCon. Who knows? Excuse me. And the reason why I'm not working on the Cupid box tonight is because I am working on the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, clue number 1 for Village Green. I'm going to tell you a little story. A little story here. Okay, so let me dial it back. I had struggles with my Nirvana one. Cotton Cuts knows about this, so this is not me throwing shade at them, but my kit wasn't exactly where it should have been, and I just think there was something that happened with mine because I have done a ton of these and I have never had the problems that I had with that one. So I decided to give myself some grace and I'm just moving on to the next Puzzle Mystery Quilt. But what I wanted to do this time, I had ideas of switching it up a bit and maybe doing short form videos to show the clues going together, or maybe doing a pre-recorded and edited video. But I figured maybe that's something I'll consider for a future Puzzle Mystery Quilt, because I've been doing these as live sews. You guys are used to seeing them as live sews, and I don't know that I'm really ready to change that right now. So, last minute decision, I decided, you know what, we're going to stick with what y'all are used to, and this is what we're going to do. So tonight is Friday night. What you will find for me, except for next month, because next month I'm going to save my clue number 2 to sew it with Sean from The Guy Who Sews on his channel during Brekkie with Sean. It's going to be March 18th, so mark your calendars for that. I believe it's March 18th, something like that. But I'm going to be sewing clue number 2 with him on his channel, but all the rest of them I am going to sew here in a live stream one Friday night a month. We'll dedicate to Puzzle Mystery Quilt clues, and if you don't want to do the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, you don't have to. You can work on whatever you want to work on, or you can just sit here and laugh at me making a fool of myself, because that happens quite a bit. These get turned around really easily for me, but I'm really excited to do this. I'm going to talk all about the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, but before we do, I want to recap a couple of things for you. This past week was my birthday weekend. If you guys were here last weekend, you saw that Donna, Tucker, Mary, and my mom were all here. We had an absolute blast. And if you want more details on how this past week went, you can check out my vlog, which hit on Thursday. I am thinking, leaning into future weeks, I might switch my vlog day from Thursday to Tuesday, just so everybody has a little bit of time to see the vlog and absorb it and enjoy it before I go live. I don't know if I love the idea of doing a live or a vlog right before my live day. I might not change that until March either, because we're right around the corner from March, so I might see that middle of the March through. I am enjoying making the vlogs. You guys seem to be enjoying watching them, so I'm going to continue them. Brenda Hamrick says, "Hi, Becca. It's going to be a rough text for me, but my sweet baby sister lost her battle with that today. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hugs to you, my friend." And it looks like somebody else, Gloria Butler, lost someone too. So my heart goes out to everybody that's suffering for whatever they might be losing. But I don't know what to say. My condolences. That's about all I can say. So sorry, but we're going to keep it really, 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 we're going to try and keep it a little bit upbeat and positive, because I know if you are suffering for any reason, the last thing you want to do is dwell on that grief. So let's take your mind off it for the next hour or two, and we'll just have some giggles, we'll have some crafty time, and we'll let the cares of the week slip away as we sail into the weekend. All right. Let's see. Oh, I was going to tell you this. We're going to do a giveaway tonight if I can hit 18,000 subscribers before this live stream ends. And I know we can do it because there are only 15 more that I need. When I last checked, I was at 17,985. So if you guys can make those first two numbers turn from a 17 to an 18 before the live stream ends, I'm going to give away a couple of gifts. But we're not going to do a giveaway or a raffle unless you can help me get to that number. So share this channel with your friends, share the video with your friends, encourage them to come over and check out my content. And if they like what they see, hit the subscribe button. It's a lot of fun here. You don't have to be a quilter to watch this channel. I like making a fool of myself in front of all sorts of people, not just quilters. You're welcome. All right, so we're going to go to the overhead camera and pray that everything works. All right, it does. All right, so this is what I'm going to be working with tonight. I'm going to show you everything that I have here. And yes, I did go through and count all of these pieces and make sure that they were all according to what the instructions said. So yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I've got everything I need. But I'll tell you what, when I was counting out the pieces, you know how batiks can feel a little bit thinner, and just because of how they, the texture of them, and I guess other fabric feels this way too, but the fabric feels like it kind of sticks together, and a couple of pieces stuck together, and I thought I counted only 6 when I should have had 8. And I was like, oh no, not again. And then I had to go back and recount, and everything was there. It's perfect. I will tell you, if you have any issues where your clues are missing any pieces, the people over at Cotton Cuts are extremely helpful and very responsive. There's going to be instructions, and I'm going to go back over to the face camera. There's going to be instructions in this brochure that tell you how to reach their support team. Reach out to them. They will make it right. Don't get frustrated and just walk away. Let them know that you're missing a piece. Things happen. They'll get it out to the mail to you really quick, and before you know it, you'll be on your way. Okay, so I am doing a large, which means my instructions might not match yours if you're doing a small, but I do have the small instructions, so if you have any questions, you can let me know. Also, I'm not necessarily going to show you a detailed step. I guess I will be showing you step by step, but this is going to be a longer video because I am doing it in real time. There is no editing here. You're seeing everything, warts and all, as I work through this. But if you want a easily digestible form and you want to quickly get through it, I got a great resource for you. Ian from the Off Kilter Crafter, Ian, you guys know my friend Ian, he does these puzzle mystery quilts too. He is also doing a large. He is doing Team Aster. He's doing Halloween fabric, which is it's right up his alley. He's super excited about it. He's already got video number 1 posted. So if you want a shorter form content, you want to digest it a little bit more, hop over to his channel, check that out. And if you like what you saw in his video, don't forget to subscribe and give him a thumbs up. All right. I am doing a large, and I am doing color begonia, and go back to the multicam. This is what we got. This is what my colorway looks like. In your clue number 1, you're going to get all of these lovely pieces. I did get this really cute enamel pin, and if you use my code Becca Village at checkout, you'll get this in your clue number 1 too. You're going to get your sheet of instructions, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but this pamphlet is going to be really important for you, and I'm not going to talk about it any other time. I'm just going to talk about it tonight in case you are new to the puzzle mystery quilt stuff. On the front cover, it tells you your colorway, gives you a picture of your color wheel, and it tells you what year and season your puzzle mystery quilt is for and what the name of it is. This is the 2023 Spring Puzzle Mystery Quilt for Village Green. We are Team Begonia. When you flip it over on the back, you're going to see all of the fabrics that are in your colorway, and they're labeled fabric A through F with 1 for your binding. And this is important because this is what you are going to reference as you're putting all of your clues together every month. When you open your pamphlet up on the inside, over here are all sorts of tips and tricks that can help make your sewing more enjoyable and a better success. And on the left hand side, there's some more information for you. They've got a private Facebook group that you can join. If something's not right, this is how you get something fixed. If you have questions, this is who you can reach out to. But this orange box right here, these are all of your clue shipping dates. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because this is what you can mark your calendar for when the clues will ship. Now, what I'm going to be doing, in case you are curious, is the Friday following when, I'm looking up there and I should be looking here, I'm so sorry. The Friday following when the clues ship is when we will plan to do a live stream, except for the month of March, which is when I am going to do my clue number 2 with Sean from The Guy Who Sews over on his channel. I believe it's March 18th, so make sure to check out his channel. You can use ! Sean in the chat. That'll give you his YouTube channel. You can check it out, subscribe, and you won't want to miss that. The other months though, just add a week. So like February 3rd is when these shipped. It's February 10th. We're doing our clue. In April 7th is when the clues will ship. April 13th is when we're going to do our puzzle mystery quilt. Does that make sense? Good. I'm glad. A couple of tips for you before we get started. If you are new, these are the tips that I tell everybody when we start. Number one, it is more important to be consistent rather than to be perfect. I like to sew my pieces with a scant 1/4 inch. And then for this one, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. I am going to stop and trim up according to what my pattern instructions say I should square up to after every time I take a seam. I know it's going to add a little bit more work. You don't have to do this. I have put them together without doing it, but I think that's going to help me get perfect results at the end. And I want to see if I can do one perfectly rather than semi-perfectly, if that makes any sense. The second tip that I have for you is do not add starch, do not add moisture, do not add steam to any of these pieces until the very end when the whole quilt top is put together. And the reason for that is because your fabric was it was ironed, but it was not sized. And so if you introduce that now, after the pieces have been die cut, they're going to warp out of the shape that they're intended to be, and it could cause you some frustration and issues later. So recap. Don't worry about a perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance if you don't want to. It is better that you are consistent rather than perfect. Just strive for consistency. Tip number 2 is don't steam, don't starch, dry press only. And tip number 3, have fun. Relax, breathe. If something doesn't look like if something looks like it's not gonna go together right, it's not the end of the world. It will end up being okay. I promise you. I have had those moments in every single quilt that I have put together for the puzzle mystery quilts. And by the end, everything's just great. So just breathe and take it easy and enjoy the process. Let's get started. If you have any questions as we go, you can type them in the chat. I do have them up in front of me. Just make sure to tag me so it visually pops at me. And then as always, I do have some moderators here that are familiar with the puzzle mystery quilt. They do them on their channels as well, so they can help answer your questions too. So I'm going to open up my sheet of instructions. On the front, you're going to see I have diagrams for what my clues look like. We're going to make 4 of the same unit. And then down here is a legend for all of the pieces that you're going to get inside your package. So it's always a good idea to look at that and make sure that things reconcile. I did that off camera because I wasn't going to do a live stream if I was missing pieces. And then when I flip it over, these are the instructions for putting everything together. It really looks like most of what we're going to be doing is building a strip set and then some flying geese units. Easy peasy. Let's get to it. So for section 1, it says in step number 1, we're going to use our fabric C, our fabric D, and our fabric F to build a strip set with C on top, D in the middle, and F on the bottom. So I'm going to go over here to my little color chart. Excuse me. I'm sniffling a little bit. I'm going to pull my fabric C, which is this really pretty green. I'm going to pull my fabric D, which is this one with the seahorses on it. And I'm going to pull my fabric F, which is this. So all of my rectangular pieces. I guess I could have figured that out. We want to make sure that these are laid out in the right order. So fabric C is going to be on the top. Fabric D with the seahorses is going to be in the middle, and then fabric F is going to be on the bottom. We're going to build a strip set that looks just like this, and we're going to press all of the seams down towards this fabric. And what else am I going to say about this? Oh, we're going to make 8 of them. So I'm going to sew them, and we'll get started. Okay, here we go. I'm going to sew all of these together first, and then I will come in and add this last fabric F. So I'm going to do fabric C and fabric D together, and I am going to chain piece these, and then I'll use my little ninja flower to cut them apart. I'm using a scant 1/4 inch. Oh, I'm going to turn that stitch length up. I've been doing some paper piecing. I don't need it at a 1.2. I guess I'm not chain stitching because I just cut my thread. So maybe I will chain stitch next time. That's okay. I typically don't chain stitch. I chain stitch differently. I should say I do chain stitch, but my version of chain stitching includes hitting the heel of my petal after I'm done sewing while I'm taking a minute to line up my next set of fabrics, because then I don't have to take the fabric over to a thread cutter. You see, while my hands are grabbing my next fabric, my feet are cutting my threads, and that's a great way that I can multitask. It's a little bit efficient, it gets things done. Hello, Rochelle Rice. Looks like you're in the hospital. You're probably not feeling so good. So sending you some hugs and some loves and some bright thoughts. Hopefully you get to go home and sew soon. Hello, Donna. Welcome to the live stream. Teresa, hello. There we go. This is going to be really pretty. I am really excited about this fabric because it is definitely sea life and the colors that I like, and it's batiks. So can't go wrong with any of that. Speaking of fabric, let's turn that iron on because we will need it at some point this evening. Last two. There we go. All right, now I'm going to pick up all of these. I'm going to scratch my nose because it itches. I'm going to set this out of the way for just a moment. And then I'm going to come in here and we're going to do some pressing. We said we were going to be pressing down, and I remember fabric C was going to be on the top. So I'm just going to finger press all these since my iron is still heating up. I want to press down towards the blue. Now here's where I'm going to do a little bit of math because it doesn't tell me how to trim these up in not two pieces. It tells me what all three should square up to once they're all sewn together. So I'm going to do a little bit of math. I know that I should have taken 1/4 inch off of each side. So I'm going to put them under my ruler, and I'm just going to make sure that the sizes are rounding to 1/4 inch. So I don't know what they were before. I could always measure it just like this to see what they are. And then I could just make sure that it's reduced by 1/4 inch on both sides. So I don't know if that really made sense. You'll see what I'm going to do in a minute. But first we're going to press. Before we do anything, we always press. Becca, did you choose the fabrics? No, Teresa. So a puzzle mystery quilt, I got to choose the colorway, but no, I did not pick the fabrics. Although I did tell Kim Moos with Cotton Cuts that I thought it would be a great idea if just for one of the Cotton Cuts programs, they were able to coordinate with their ambassadors to pick a colorway. Like each ambassador could pick the fabrics for their own colorway. I'd be curious to see like how many people would go with Ian, how many people would go with Sean, who is now an ambassador for Cotton Cuts. So congratulations, Sean. How many people would go with my colorway? Like that could be a fun little competition, I think. Competition, but not a serious competition. Like nobody's going to get upset. It doesn't need to be that serious. All right. So now that I have all of these pressed, I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm just going to look to see what this is measuring to, because it should be, yep, see, that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to tell you what this is. I'm just going to tell you that my 1/4 inch is almost spot on. Yeah, I don't want to tell you, actually. I don't want to tell you the size because I don't want to give away the size of the fabric that they cut, because then I feel like I'm giving the pattern away and then there's no reason to join the Puzzle Mystery Quilt. And I'm pretty sure Sheila Christensen, who designs all of these lovely quilts for us, would not want me to do that. So I am just trimming this up. I'm just taking a hair off. Do you see how little is coming off of this? It's really not that big of a deal. If you're sewing with a perfect 1/4 inch, if you've got everything lined up on your machine, you're probably not even gonna have to remove anything. I'm choosing to do it this time just to see if I do that every step of the way, is it going to give me better results in the end? This is a test. Oh, Somebody just, oh no, not subscribed. Katie's here. Hey, Katie. Welcome to the weekend, girlfriend. I love these colors. Quilting is not meant to be a competition, that's for sure, right? It is not. Like, there's too much. Quilting and YouTube and creation, it's all meant to be supporting one another, loving one another, building each other up, period. Doesn't need to be any room for any nastiness or any jealousy or any competition. This is going to take me a little while longer to put together because I'm doing this. So just be patient with me. Hello, Sharon Parson. How are you tonight? Welcome to the live stream. Ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. Crafty Panda says, I've never been a competitive person. I can get caught up in competition, if I'm being completely honest. I don't mean to be a competitive person, but if I'm with somebody who is competitive, it'll bring out competitiveness in me. I don't like it. It doesn't feel comfortable. I prefer to not be that way. So I try to surround myself with people that aren't competitive. Question, how do you feel about putting quilts in a judged quilt show? I have no idea. I haven't thought about that. I will tell you, I did enter a quilt into a quilt show. It's not a juried quilt show. It is the quilt show that my local guild is hosting in the spring. I'm actually entering a quilt named Spring Chicken, which I think is apt. I got accepted, but I think it is a viewer's choice type of show. I think juried quilt shows are fun. I don't know that I take them that seriously. Like, I don't know. I've never entered one, so I can't speak what I think my experience would be like, but I am really excited for people when they win one. But I'm speaking only as a spectator, not as a participant in a juried quilt show. I've never entered one, but I am super happy for anybody that does enter one and really excited for anybody that wins an award or a ribbon. Quite honestly, I think I still got a few years of experience before I'm ready to enter a quilt into a juried quilt show. All right. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I stopped and trimmed this. Sometimes these tasks can feel so mundane and timely, like really time consuming. And I find when you've got a friend in the room or on Zoom or on YouTube for that matter, it makes these little tasks go by a whole lot faster. So this is what I actually trimmed off of my quilt. And that's the very first, those are the very first seams that I took from my puzzle mystery quilt clues. Now, if I adjust my needle just a little bit, I wouldn't have to take that out at all. But could you imagine all of this left in there over time? The reason why I'm squaring it up is not because you have to, but keep in mind everybody's 1/4 inch is just a hair or two different. And even though these are die cut and you are starting with the same exact size piece I am, you may have more or less that you need to trim off of depending on how your machine is configured and where you're feeding that fabric underneath your needle. So that's my tip for you today. Now that I've got the two pieces put together, we're going to pull the fabric F rectangles and we're going to sew them to the bottom next to those blues. And I will press and square up after I do that as well. So here we go. I'm going to line everything up, organize it nice and tidy. So I've got everything ready to go. We're going to attach blue to blue. Is that right? Let me just double check before I find out that I did everything wrong. C, D, yes, that was right. Okay, I about had a panic attack. Laura Miller says, more than the awards, Becca, I appreciate the detailed feedback from the judges as to what they are looking for. I could see that. I could see that. I think when I get to the point where I finally am ready to submit a quilt into a juried quilt show, it will likely be just for the report card. I won't expect to win a ribbon at all. You won't know what, oh gosh, and I just had a reminder of a test that I have to take for work, and this advice is apt for that, but you won't know what's expected of you until you try. Sometimes you got to take the test. This is me talking to my work self. Sometimes you got to take the test to see the areas that you need to improve so you can work on that and then take the test again. Oh gosh, that is way too, that is, that is way too relevant right now. Yeah, I have a test I need to take at work. I took it a couple years ago. I failed, not miserably, but I did fail. And it's been on my list of things that I need to do again. And my supervisors reminded me that it's time to take that test again, time to get that certification. And I don't want to, but I know I can do it now. So I just got to bite the bullet. Did your mom finish her quilt top from last week? Anita's asking. No, she did not, sadly, but she is working on it. She's making beautiful progress. In fact, at the end of the live stream, after I have all of my clues put together, I'll be happy to go get the quilt top. It's right over here to my left, and I'll show you how much progress she's made. She's really doing a great job with that quilt, and she's taking the time to stop and press with every single strip. Judy Patterson says, hi, Becca. I've been watching all of your videos and I have learned a lot. Thank you. Well, thank you for watching the videos, Judy. And thank you for letting me know that they're helpful. That means a lot to me. Comments like that help encourage me to keep making content. So thank you. Mary is headed out of the chat for now as I wasn't to go work. Oh, she wants to go work in her sewing studio. So she's not going to have access to the chat, but she'll be listening. She's never far away. Rochelle says, thanks for your info about your iron, Becca. I ordered and received mine, and it's so nice. It's a great weight and size. I love this iron. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. It's amazing. I do have an Aliso Pro that I got several years ago as a Mother's Day gift, and it's probably on its last legs. It's a very expensive iron, and I've put it through a lot of wear and tear, and it's actually still getting really hot and pressing, but the legs that make it lift and stuff are starting to wear out. I've thought about replacing it with a cordless iron because a cordless iron is cheaper than the Aliso, and then I don't have to deal with the cord coming back and forth. So that's where my mind's been. All right. Thank you, Judy, for sharing. What color and type of thread are you using, Becca? Gloria wants to know. I am using Aurifil. I typically piece with 6722 unless I have darker fabric, at which point I will switch to, I think it's 2625, which is a really dark gray. It is an Aurifil 50 weight cotton thread. I use it in the top and the bobbin. It is a 2-ply, I believe, very strong thread. It allows my seams to lay nice and flat. It's strong. It keeps everything held together. And yeah, I think I answered everything about that. Aw, Debbie says, such good company on Friday nights. Hi, Jane. She says, I'm late, but in the hospital, so I am forgiven. Aw, Jane, I hope everything's okay. I don't know why I do that, but I have been doing that all the day. Oh gosh, now I sound like, I don't even know. Let's just have another sip of Coke Zero. Okay. Oh, iron's hot. Good. There we go. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Goodbye, Sean. He said he'll be back on later. Got to run and do some other stuff. See ya. Right. Now we've got all of our pieces pressed, and I am going to size these up according to what the pattern says they should be. So I know that the seam between here and here is set correctly. So I'm going to put my mark for how long this should be right at the edge of this lighter fabric, and I'm just going to clean up what's on the end. Yep. There's one. I'll set these over here. I'll turn them in the right order to minimize the time I have to spend organizing and getting things lined up. Hey, Martha. Quiltessa says, Becca, have you tried the acorn pen? Yeah, I tried one a few years ago. I did a video on it, but I think I took the video down. I was thinking about maybe redoing it. The video, I mean. I think it would work out well for the puzzle mystery quilt because you would be applying starch. So, okay, let me back up. For those of you that don't know what the acorn pen is, it's one of those pens that when you push on the nib, the liquid in the pen flows out, just like a marker or a paint pen or something. The difference here is it comes with a solution that is starch that you put into the pen. And so when you push on the nib, the liquid that comes out is starch. And you use that, you apply that starch to your seam only, and then you press. So if you're trying to get your seam only nice and flat and you can't, this is a good tool to use if you can't starch or add moisture to the overall block, if you're just trying to add body and moisture to the seam only. And the reason why it works is because you get the nib, you push down on it, the liquid comes out, you draw it on your seam, the wrong side of your fabric, you draw it on the seam, and then you press your seam and it helps get everything to lay nice and flat. I will say though, I work with batiks a lot when I do these puzzle mystery quilts, and batiks press super flat. So I don't feel like I really need them. Look at that. Look at all that I got off too. I'm just gonna save all of my trimmings because I want to see how big this pile gets. So we're gonna, oh no, we're gonna put it where you can see it. Where can you see it? Where can you see it? Up here? No, over here? I don't even know. Right here? Is that where we're going to? No, that'll be in my way. Whatever. We're going to put it right here. Where can we put the trash? We're going to put the trash right there today. Okay, now that we've got our strip sets built, we're going to build out our flying geese units, and we're going to make 3 different types of flying geese units, and the fabric placement is pretty important for this. So let me stack these up and get them out of the way. I don't need to make them perfect. What am I doing? Okay, let's see. So the first one that we're going to make is our fabric A, which is this. Nope. The first one that we're going to make is our fabric A, this one, the small triangles of it, and our big triangle of fabric F, which is this one. Now, I'm going to point out something with our triangles that we get from Cotton Cuts, because this is important. You have 2 different types of triangles that they send to you. You have half square triangles and quarter square triangles, and the only difference is the top. On your quarter square triangles, I don't know if you can see that there, the top up here is actually a plateau. It's not a sharp point. On the triangles that are meant to be half square triangles, it is a point. So if I were to hold up one of each, just like this, you can see the difference. The top up here is blunt and the top down here is pointy. That usually doesn't come into play at all, except I find that when they want us to build out flying geese units, they usually want us to take the triangle that is a quarter square triangle, and that's set pointing up, and then they want us to take half square triangle units and lay them out on either side to build a flying geese unit. And so the way you're going to do this is you're going to take one of your quarter square triangles, lay out 2 of your half square triangle units. You're going to sew one side, press, and then sew the other side. And you usually will end up pressing up towards, yep, you're going to do it again. You're going to press up towards the half square triangle units. So we're going to put them right sides together. We're going to line up the long edge of the half square triangle with the short edge of the quarter square triangle. And then we're going to go take our seam. Then we will press this up and over. Apply some heat, get it to lay nice and flat. And then this side, we're going to do the same thing. Right sides together. Line up that long raw edge of the half square triangle with the short edge of the quarter square triangle. Take it to the machine and take your 1/4 inch. Then we'll push this up and over and we'll press it. Hello, Eileen. Hey, Mom. And then we'll press that all nice and flat, just like this. And that is what we're going to make. We're going to make 4 of these. So I'm just going to set that there, and I'm going to come over here and just start sewing. I like to do all of one side and then all of the other side, just because it keeps me a little bit more organized. So there's 1. Technically, I guess that's number 2. That's number 2. And this is number 3. Get all those raw edges nice and lined up. These fabrics are gorgeous, right? Hello, Katie Crafts. Hi, Wanda. Wanda says that is gorgeous fabric. I agree, but I can't take credit for picking it out. I can just take credit for picking out the coordinated fabric that Cotton Cuts put together. Hi, Donna. Hello. Hello, Jim. Hi, all. Watching on TV. Stopped in to say hi. Hello. Uber. Uber. Why are we yelling out Uber, Jane? Uber! Okay. Okay. Now we're going to do this side. Did we wind bobbins before we started tonight? Rochelle wants to know. Yes. Yes, 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 we did. Yes, ma'am. In fact, I think the next day after that, oh, dropped my work badge. The next day after my live stream, I ran out of bobbin, or maybe I did it on Donna's Zoom because I think I hopped over there to finish up my quilt. I ran out of bobbin while I was with Donna, I think, and I was like, well, I guess I gotta wind bobbins now because y'all are watching. Janet says, morning, Becca. Still waiting on mine to arrive. Well, it'll be here. It'll be there before you know it. And if you are interested in sewing step by step with me, when you get it, you can always come back and watch the replay. Michelle says, way to go, Becca, gold star. I watched the birthday celebration, but haven't seen how it came out. Becca was concerned about some stretching. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the beachy braid quilt. I'll be showing that in my vlog on Thursday. It is quilted. It is still on the long arm, surprise. I'll be pulling it off this weekend and getting it bound and taking some footage and some, we'll call them glamour shots, quilty glamour shots, so that you guys can all enjoy the beautiful quilt in my next vlog. So make sure you tune in for that. Ian says, hey everyone, sorry I'm late to the party, about to cook dinner while I'm watching. Yum yum, save some for me. There we go. All right, before I move on to the next round of flying geese units, I am going to take a couple of minutes to square these up. It says that they should, okay, got it. I got the measurement locked in my head. All right, this should be, I'm going to turn this around. So here's the tip that I'm going to give you while you're squaring these up. I like to put the 45-degree line on the line right here where the seam is between the two fabrics. And that's going to ensure that at least this comes right down to that corner. So I'm going to clean this up down here. I'm going to clean up along here. Ooh, that was maybe more than I expected, but I'm sewing with a scant quarter of an inch, so that's what happens. And now I'm going to come in here and clean up the other two sides. There we go. There we go. Ah, beautiful. Look at that. Perfectly squared up. Oh, let's pull you over here so people can see. And we'll keep adding to our pile of trimmings. Is this making anybody else excited? That's making me really excited. Jennifer Torney says, I meant to include an LOL with my last comment. What was your last? Oh, quilty glamour shots. Yes. Does anybody remember those from the 90s? I am sad to say I witnessed quilty glamour shots that my stepmother had taken for my dad. That was not something that I enjoyed seeing hung on the wall in our living room. That should have been hung on the wall in their bedroom. I mean, the pictures were good, but I did not want to see my stepmother wearing feather boas in suggestive poses. All right, there we go. Does this quilt come pre-cut to size of quilt we select? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but what I will tell you is the kit comes, every clue comes with die cut pieces. So you really don't have to do any trimming, or I'm sorry, any cutting of the fabric. You just sit and sew. I am choosing this time around to square up all of my pieces each step of the way, just to help improve the results that I'll see at the end. You don't have to do this step. I've done several of them without doing this, and it's been fine. Susie Rose Finley says, greeting one and all from Las Vegas. Hello, Susie. Okay, look at all that. Beauteous. I have the rollers for her. She wants them. Wait, whoa. Oh my, no words for that. Hold on. Wait, what are we talking about? Rollers. Rollers. Are you talking about lint rollers? Or rollers that go under your chair and cause it to roll out from behind you and make you fall flat on your bottom? All right, there are my first 4 flying geese units. My next set of flying geese units are going to use my fabric A and my fabric B. Oh man, for a second I thought I didn't have fabric B and I was about to have a panic attack, but I got them. I got them. Fabric A is going to be our quarter square triangle in the middle, and fabric B is going to be our half square triangle units, making, I guess, the wings. Is that the wings? I've always heard that this is the body and these are the wings. You guys let me know in the comments below or the live chat if I am right. 1, 2, 3. Louise says, Louise did say earlier, I saw that and I didn't reply to it, that I should save all these and put them in a jar. And I don't have actually an empty jar available right now, but that is a cool idea. And I just wanted to recognize that I did see that. All right. Susie says, we have the same colorway. I got the large size. Woohoo! Me too. So we're going to do the same thing to this one that we did before. We're just going to sew one side, press them. And let me just reset the time on my iron. So one side, press them, And actually, these are just a little wonky. They're just a little folded from being in shipping. So I'm just going to put a hot iron on them to make them lay flat. That will help me get perfect results. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There we go. Sorry. Sorry, I had to mute the microphone when I coughed because you didn't want me coughing in your ear. So you're welcome for that. This month's clue went together really fast. I loved the final product, Ian said. It did. When I saw the clue, when I saw your video, I was like, wow, that was really easy. And then when I opened up my instructions, I was like, yeah, I can do this really quickly. And I think, honestly, because the first clue is so easy, that's why I'm encouraged to be like, you know, we're going to stop and trim. Otherwise, I'd be done after like a half an hour, if that. I mean, I'm almost already done and it's not even 9 o'clock. So we're gonna embrace this. This is a welcome relief from some of the previous Cotton Cuts puzzle mystery quilts. I remember a couple of them where there was a month where we had a ton of pieces. Not that I'm not up for that challenge, because I am, but this is, sometimes it's nice just to get a few easy pieces to get your feet wet, you know? Who used So Becca's code when they signed up for Village Green? Some people. Some people, maybe no one. Who knows? We actually don't track that. We don't get any list of who did or who didn't. So I just lost the thread of my machine. Well, dog nabbit skippity doo dah. Oh wait, let's see if we can do the thing. See if we can do the thing. See if we can use the automatic threader. Who wants to bet? Okay. Okay, wrap it. Wait, wrap it, slide it, put it down. Lick it back underneath, underneath, hold it level, let it go. No. One more time. Hook it around, flip it around, slide it. Put it down, tuck it under, hold it level, tuck it in, let it go. No. Okay, we're just going to go back to the other way. I know I'm not holding it right. I know that's the problem. It's hard to do these things when you know you have an audience watching you. Nope, get in the hole. Get in the hole! There we go. Hello, Joe Robinson. Thank you for the recurring tip. I appreciate it. Yes, it's stitching beautifully. Wait, do I have all 4 done? I do. It threw me off because I saw this pile sitting here. I was like, wait a minute. I did something wrong. Hold up. Louise went with a small peony. Puny. Lavender, do you have your mouth open just the right way? Quiltessa said. I must not have. I love my Juki threader. Once you learn how, it is wonderful. Quick Temper says. I will say I have been trying to practice with it. I'm getting it some of the time, but not all of the time. And I think it's because I'm still not doing it the right way. But I'll get there. It just takes practice. You got to keep trying. I think I'm not getting the thread wrapped around the little doohickey. That's the official term correctly. I'm going to press these all nice and flat. Kathleen says, that makes me feel better about having such trouble threading my automatic threader. All right. We've got these 4 done. Now we're going to put the little wingy things on the other side. There. There's one. Could be the thingamabob, maybe. And you have to let go of the thread, Jay. Oh, you know what? You have to let go of the thread? Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. Okay, let's try it again. Let's pull out a length. I unthreaded my machine just to test that. We're gonna wrap it, hold it here, pinch it, pull this down, flip it back. I said flip it back. Yeah, no, I said flip it back into the leveler, let go of the thread. No, that didn't work. You must mean let go of the thread after. Or I'll put the foot down, you dingleberry. Ah! I did it, by golly gee whiz. I feel so accomplished. Apparently, you hold it, but not like you don't let go of it entirely, but you don't hold it taut. At least that's what I did. I don't know if that's right. And I'm not going to unthread the machine to see if it was correct. Who's going to QuiltCon in a couple of weeks? I'm excited to go. I feel like Flat Jenny's going to go with me too. And it would be great if real Jenny was there and could autograph Flat Jenny. That would be awesome. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Man, if it's that easy, shoot. I've been trying to thread the needle manually for, well, have been for a year now. Shoot. Quiltessa said, jumping up and down with joy. Yay! My brother machine threads the needle automatically. I love it. Yeah, my baby lock does too. And that's actually my mom's predominant machine when she's here. You just follow it through all the guides, and then you press a button and it it does it does all the things, and it works 100% of the time. This material is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we're going to square these up when they're going to be the same size as the other four. Let's get to work. Work. Let's get to work. Put it on the 45. Look for my 1/4 inch. Clip. Off. Ooh, look at all that just came off the bottom. Maybe that wasn't a great way to start, but oh well. Okay, there's one. And here is two. Ha-ha! If you can't make yourself laugh in this world, are you even doing it right? Are you living right if you can't laugh at yourself? Can't believe I just said that out loud. It's the pressures of being alone in a room with no audible responses from people. You feel like you're talking to yourself. Oh gosh. Hold on. We got an audio message from Ian. Let's just see what this is.
Work. Work.
Can I keep that? Yes, keep. Oh, Ian, you kill me. I love you. Work. Oh, shoot. Oh, I need to make that a ringtone for him every time he calls. Work. Oh, goodness. Ooh, look at that. Wait, which ones are squared? Oh, this one's not because I see a thread. Okay. Whew. Oh, I was about to be like, oh no, I got to do them all over again. Ian is funny. He's got an awesome sense of humor. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right, these 4 are done, and now we're gonna put our little trimmings in that pile. Oh my goodness. You know what? We're gonna save them. We're gonna save them because I'm gonna see how many threads I clip off of all of my clues for the large puzzle mystery quilt. And I bet there will be enough there to make a little bit of fabric. If you make that a ringtone, he will call you at work on the very day or time you forgot to turn down your ringer. And I would laugh, and it will be great. Work, work, work. Like, I bet I could save it and turn it into a ringtone. We're going to find out. Apple, if you're listening, I would like to make voice memos a ringtone. Thank you. You know Apple's listening because I got Siri in the room with me. Big Blue Dog said Ian is channeling his inner Rihanna. Does he need to stand under his umbrella? Ella, Ella, Ella. Under my umbrella. Uh-oh, he's giving me another one. He said this would be a better ringtone. Hold on, let's see. Okay.
Warning, Ian is calling. You better answer before he falls out of the chair.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. We'll give you a much more comfortable chair next time you come to visit so that you don't slip off of a slick surface. And we'll also get some bungee cords. Maybe a seatbelt. Here's a suggestion. You could get clear Christmas balls and put your Christmas tree or put your trimmings in them. So colorful at the end of the year. Oh, that's a great idea. Lori said my ringtone would be rip it real good. Oh, rip it real good. Hi, Georgia Pate. She says, what is the name of your sewing cabinet? This is the Quilter's Vision by TaylorMade. And if you want a link to it, you want to see what it's all about, if you go to my website and click on About up at the top of the page, there will be a link for my room, and it'll give you a link to all the furniture and everything that I have in here. I like the idea of keeping them and see how much we have at the end of our entire thingy thing, the thing. Yeah, you know what I mean. I save all my threads and trimmings to stuff a cat bed I am making, Nani says. Quiltessa says, when my sons first got cell phones, they set the ringer for me. They set the ringer for me as the theme from Halloween, the Mike Myers music. Oh, I had that as a ringtone for a little while. Da, 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 da. Was it that how it goes? I can't remember. But once it's in my head, it's stuck there. So I'm not going to give you that earworm because then I will be stuck with that earworm forever. Yo, Patty G said, Ian, call me and please leave a message. Ooh, Ian, you have not left me a voicemail. You should leave me a voice. Not right now. Please don't call me right now. Because I would probably answer the phone or it could disrupt my cameras. Yes, also, please, I guess also you can't leave me a voicemail if I always answer the phone when you call. So there's that. Ian likes to leave little messages for you while he's in your home too. After he left, I found notes on the fridge that said Ian was here. I found a photo taken on my computer, and the name of it was Ian was here, and he was doing this. He's such a funny guy. Hey, Lori, she says, I was at the Dollar Tree today and they have some pretty glass jars now. Ooh, I'll have to go check. I want to go to Big Lots to get some more storage containers for my scraps. On the shelf behind me, I've got some clear acrylic little bins that I'm using, and I think they'll be the perfect thing to store scraps and other little loose bits of fabric. Kind of a little bit like Tracy from the Sewing Channel, her wall of scraps. She's got that really colorful wall. I was thinking I could have some colorful shelves of the scraps I want to keep. I think that would be fun, but I need a few more of those bins. Okay, these are all pieced. Now I'm going to square these up. And can you believe an hour in chatting and we didn't even start right away? We're already done with all of these. So I think I'm going to pull out another project and get to work on something else because I still have an hour. We're going to just keep sewing. I'm just going to pull out a project that I actually have sitting right here. We're going to work on my atomic stars. It's a little bit of FPP. But first I need to square these up. Oh, we're not done yet. After I do all of these, I got to sew them into their final settings. So I do have a little bit more work. I forgot. So let me do that first. Come on. Come on. There you go. Lori Clark says, my best buddy has ADHD. We tilt pictures and move things. We had a guy that we used to work with. He was on my team and he liked everything set just so on his desk. And it was a thing to mess with his things when he wasn't there. And I think the biggest thing that I did was just put a Post-it note on the bottom side of his mouse so that the laser from the mouse wouldn't work. I do that and he was so used to it, like we didn't even get a reaction out of him. So sad. We kind of quit doing it because it wasn't getting a reaction like it used to. Ian says, I was confused for a second because you hadn't put them all together. Yes. Well, I will put them all together and then I'm going to switch to working on my FPP stars, which is the atomic stars, which are FPP. So we'll get this together and then I'll pull out my project that I need to work on over the course of this week. Oh, that was a big chunk. That one's a little scant, but it works. Susie says, ADHD is my superpower. I can drink coffee and take a nap. Just like that. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay, now everything is put together and squared up. So now we're going to assemble all of our pieces that we've built into our final quilt block. So this is what we're going to do. In the first step, we're going to join our flying geese units in this order. So let me get them all stacked up nicely. We want the one that has fabric F in the middle. Let me get it here. We want that one to be on the bottom. Get this other stack. So it's going to be this one on the bottom. And then we want the one with fabric A in the middle to be here, just like that. And then, of course, this one. So you're kind of making like these chevron blocks. I'm going to turn my mat 90 degrees this way so that I don't have to touch the fabric. And I'm going to take all my seams here and then all my seams here. And everything is going to press up towards this. So I'm going to take a seam, press up, take a seam, press up. And I will probably stop and trim this just like I did for the strip set, just to make, because I know I'm sewing with a scant 1/4 of an inch. The other thing that I am doing when I am sewing it, this one, I am going to sew with that one upside down so I can see the X. You can kind of, maybe, nah, I'll show you in the next one. I can see the X intersection where this point is made if I sew with this one on the top. And that's going to help me keep my needle where I need it to be so I don't lose the point. So as long as when my needle's going through the fabric, it's going directly through this X or just one thread to the right of it, I won't lose my point. See, look, perfect point right there. So I'm going to do that. Let me show you again what that looks like. I'm going to take this piece and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to flip it on and I'm going to put it into my machine so that I'm sewing with this one on top. Right sides together, line up my bottom raw edges. There we go. Put it in the machine and sew. Right through that X intersection. I'm just going to stack these over here as I sew them, and then we'll press and trim and then sew on the last flying geese unit. It's much quieter in your studio tonight than it was this time last week. Ha ha ha, huh? Yeah, it is. It is quite a bit quieter, and I gotta say, I love having people here, but I am going to enjoy a weekend of quiet progress because I have got a lot of stuff I want to make a lot of progress on before I pack up and head to QuiltCon. So kind of looking forward to that. Plus also Jason's birthday's on Monday. So I'm going to spend some time with the family this weekend. For my birthday, we celebrated with lots of out-of-town guests, and for his birthday, we're just going to celebrate with his kids. We're just going to keep it to ourselves. Okay, we're going to press this up towards this one we said, so I'm just going to roll it up with my hand. I'm going to do that for all 4. What are you making? Tiny Talking Tina wants to know. I am working on the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt. This is clue number 1 for the Village Green Mystery Quilt. This is a block of the month program where all the pieces that come to you are die cut and it lasts for 10 months. Up at the top of the chat, there will be a blue banner that is pinned. You can click on that. There will be a link and more information for how you can sign up if this is something you would like to try doing. Look at how flat that lays. Isn't that great? Oh, so great. I'm really happy I took the time to sew with a super scant 1/4 of an inch and trim these up. This makes my heart very happy. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like when it's all done. I love these fabrics. Yes. All right, let's square those up and then we'll add our final flying geese unit and then we just have to... Oh yeah, this goes in the middle. That makes sense. Okay. I was confused for a moment. I'm going to turn this way so that I have room to get my ruler in here. Oh, perfect. This should be a square. And is it? Here. Okay, there we go. Let me get this in here. I do believe it is. Indeed, that is where the middle should be. This actually... I actually don't think I have any to trim off. Did I? I'm just going to run it. Like a thread. Perfect. Let's see if we can do that 3 more times. This one will probably be a little bit bigger because I see a little bit of floating space between the point. No, it's No, it is. There's just a sliver left right here. Look at that. 3 little threads. This is great. Ah, so satisfying. Clean it up. Put that in the middle. Yep. Okay. All right. Come on. Come on, Eileen. I swear I'm not mean. Is that not how the song goes? There we go. Beautiful quilts, classes, and vendors. What all happens at QuiltCon? Claudia wants to know. QuiltCon is like, from what I understand, because I have never been, but QuiltCon is like a quilt show on steroids. Lots of vendors, quilts for sale, lots of classes and workshops, lots of lectures, and it goes for 4 days. It starts on Thursday and goes through to Sunday. It's in Atlanta this year, and next year it's going to be in Raleigh. All right, so now we're going to join this one to the bottom, just like this. Make a cup of black cherry tea. Yum. Carol says, you always press without distorting the fabric. How? I don't know. I'd have to see what you're doing to be able to answer that. Uh-oh, did I run out of bobbin thread? Indeed I did. I lost the bobbin chicken race. Oh, no, I didn't. But it looks like it's almost done. So we're just going to go ahead and set this aside. We'll unravel it later. I'm going to put, ooh, it's so dirty in there. Because, spoiler alert, guess what I did not do when I wound my bobbins? I did not clean out the inside of my machine, so I will do that later. Is that what Eric and Tiff went to last year? Yes, and Ian was there too. Yes, 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 that is what they went to last year. It was in Phoenix last year, I believe. This year it's in Atlanta, and next year it's in Raleigh. Just a drop will do ya. Are there any other colorways boutiques? Yes. Go look at the website. I can, Ian, if you don't mind, could you list out the other colorways? Since you're in the chat, can you list out the other colorways that are boutiques? I do find, somebody had asked, how do you press without distorting your fabric? I do find that pressing the boutiques is much more manageable than pressing the printed fabrics. It lays flatter, it feels stiffer. It's just because of the nature of a batik. So we're going to press this up here. I'm just going to press it first with my hands. I'll probably press from the back, actually. Did you change the needle too? No, I didn't. Well, I did change the needle when I wound those bobbins, but this time I didn't need to because I changed my needle last time when I wound all my bobbins. Because I was on Donna's and people were watching. I was like, well, I guess I can't get away with just winding one bobbin. So I did the whole thing. But I did not clean out the inside of the machine, and it is a mess in there, and I can't wait to clean it up. Lori says, is QuiltCon anything like Road to California? I'm going to guess so, but I've never been to Road to California. So somebody who's been to both, if you could answer Lori's question for me, that would be great. Thank you, Ian. I think there's 3 or 4 colorways that are batiks. I think this one, Begonia, is sold out, actually. All right, now we're going to press. Make sure my iron is still nice and hot. Press it up. So funny to see the difference in these. This is the same fabric, but it's corally here and orange here. Isn't that great? It just adds a lot of movement and texture. I absolutely love it. Are we pressing up? We are pressing up, right? Yes. Okay, good. I'm going to set that aside. Do it from the back this time. Lori says, Road to California is huge and awesome. You know what? I want to go to Road to California one year. Is that near Disney World, like Anaheim, do you think? So Ian says the colorways that are batiks are lavender, marigold, and begonia. This is begonia, by the way. No problem. Michelle says, Becca, I am excited for March. I decided to subscribe to the Open Gate Quilt Box based on watching your videos. Thanks. You're welcome. Next week, we will be putting together one of the projects in the Open Gate Quilt Box. So make sure to come on back. Okay, now we've got these 3 units made to look like chevrons. Disneyland, I know, is... I want to know if... I know Disneyland is in Anaheim, but is Road to California near Anaheim? Asking for a friend. We're going to square this up because we've done that every step of the way. Why stop now? Oh, I'm glad I did, because look at that. Yeah, get off of there. Get off of there. Just a little bit. Go away. Road to California, I think, is in Ontario, which is not near Disney. Okay, you are so funny. Actually, I am the one that is funny, because I was like, no, Ontario is in Canada. I'm talking about California. And then I realized there must be an Ontario, California. Oh, shoot. I was like, no, wrong country. Tiny Talkie Tina says, it looks like the braid quilt. It does a little bit. It does. It's even got the beachy theme, but this one's going to be for me. Or maybe somebody else. We'll find out. This one looks like I'm not going to get any off of the end. I got nothing off the end of that one. I'm thinking QuiltCon is similar to the Sewing Expo, but on steroids. I will find out in a few weeks. Judy, are you going to be at QuiltCon, Judy? Judy, are you coming to QuiltCon? At this one, I'm not going to get anything off of either. Oh, well, that's not true. I got like 2 threads. Okay. Now we're going to build out our units. So we're going to take these 4 pieces that we made. We're going to set them in the middle. And then on either side, I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm keeping every single piece of those threads, though. You better believe that. We're going to put on either side of that strip set that we made, which is right here. And when we do that, we want it so that fabric C, which is this really pretty green, is up at the top. So we're going to make a stack of 4 on either side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Margie says, where can I get a list of all quilt shows throughout the U.S.? I don't know if all quilt shows in the U.S. are ever on one site, because you've got guild shows and major shows, but I will tell you, I think the big, I don't know. Somebody should make a website for that. But I'll tell you the big ones are QuiltCon, and that's bounces from East Coast to West Coast. But there are others too. So hey, heads up. Because I have followed the pressing instructions, these intersections are all nesting. And because I have a point right here and right here that I don't want to lose, and I don't really care about what happens over here, I'm going to sew with this bottom side up. And I'm actually, can you believe it? I'm actually going to clip. No, I'm not. Who am I kidding? We're not going to clip. We're just going to pinch and hold. So I'm going to sew with this one right, like up towards the top, on the top, and I'm going to sew with my same seam allowance that I've been sewing everything else. And then I'm going to hold the next seam intersection. I'm going to make sure those are nice and nested, and hold it until the needle gets into that seam. And then I will sew all the way off. Oh! Rona the Ribbeter has a list of all of them. Cool, thanks, Ian. Sweet. So that's what we have on this side. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish this one. I'm going to grab another one. I'm going to put it on this side. That way I've got one piece done, and then I'll just do both sides as I'm going. We need to line up this seam first because this is what's going to be on top. Just like that. Nest that seam really good. Let me turn this so that my fabric isn't hitting the pad as I'm going through. Aha, yes. Okay, I'll give it a good final press after I sew all these together. I'm going to QuiltCon if I feel up to it, Debbie says. I have an annual audit at work that week, so I might not be up to driving and finding parking. I love the Sewing Expo, and that's coming to Atlanta in March, right? I think I saw that on a website somewhere. Thank you. You must, gosh, you're reading my mind. So Ian just texted me the same link that he put in the chat. And literally I was thinking, I need to ask him to text that to me. No, I won't ask him to do that. I'll just come back into my live chat and I'll watch the replay myself and I'll get it. I don't want to ask him for that. He's already given it once and then it just shows up in a text because that's the type of friend he is. He's awesome. Rochelle says, wow, that's really pretty. I love those fabrics. You guys, I'm telling you, just stick with me. Pick my colorway next time. They always turn out. So I always pick the really pretty colorways. Actually, they're all pretty. I won't say that. There's not one that's prettier than the other, except this one's prettier than Team Aster. Oh, Ian, that was a little bit shade your way. Team Begonia. Sunny says, pretty boutiques. What can I say? I'm a mind reader. I think you are. I think you are. What am I thinking right now? I'm sending telepathic vibes all the way to Texas. What am I thinking right now? Actually, if you do say this, I will be a little freaked out. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the AQS, I can't even talk. The AQS show is in April. If I don't get to go to QuiltCon, I'll go to the AQS show. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he sent me a picture. Let's see what the picture is. Oh, it's just an image. You can't. It's okay, fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Totally okay. Nobody cares. Moving on. I go seaside all the way, Sunny says. According to the website, Begonia is still available. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thought it was sold out. There's something wrong with the way the website is loading on my browser. It doesn't even show the image for Begonia on my website. When I open it in Chrome, though, it's fine. But Safari is not having a nice time with the website right now. So I thought it was sold out. But cool. I'm glad to hear it's not. You guys can do this one. Colorway still available. So pretty. Are you doing the large one? Yvette wants to know. Yes, Yvette, I sure am. Meredith says, I decided to finish the first PMQ Piazza before ordering another one. I love the Begonia colorways. Yeah, so just a heads up, you're not going to be able to finish Piazza and then order this Village Green. But when you finish Piazza, you will be able to order the fall one. So if you're seeing these colors and you absolutely want to do this one, you don't have to order it right now, but at some point, this one will be taken off of the website and you won't be able to order it anymore. It's going to go away forever. Bye-bye, no more. And it's usually about the time that the other puzzle mystery quilt is wrapping up. So in the spring, when the fall one starts to wrap up, they stop selling the spring one so that they can make room for a new fall one. Because they only sell one at a time. So you can't, that's just how it works. You guys, I am almost done. Look at this. All right, so let's see. This says we're going to press these seams out towards those strip sets away from the flying geese units. So I'm going to fold it over with my hands, turn my iron back on because it did turn off, and then I'm going to press it with some heat. No starch, no moisture, no nothing. Just smooth it out with my hands. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look. Is that supposed to be? It is on the bottom. Look how beautiful our little clues are. And it's perfect. It is perfect. I am so stinking pleased. Gosh. Oh, this is so beautiful. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like when it's all done. Now I'm going to set this one down here and we're going to do the next one. Only 2 more months are left to order. Don't wait, order now, but wait, there's more. Carol Lawrence says, I just finished the Atomic Starburst quilt with different colors of fabric with metallic silver. Added a few blocks to make it bigger. It turned out beautiful and I enjoy it. I am working on putting mine together. I've got to finish piecing my FPP stars. Those are going really nicely. And then I will be able to start putting it together. And I think I want to see what it looks like, but I might end up wanting to add a couple of more rows to make it a little bit bigger too. Oh wait, what's going on with Auntie? She says, I am fused from L3S. Oh, she's talking about, wow, okay, got it. It had a battery change on mine, hence the ice on the surface. Oh my gosh. Lori, sending you big hugs. How many months is it for the whole quilt? It's always a 10-month block of the month. Always 10 months. Months 1 through 9, you're putting your clues together. Some months you'll put together more pieces than others. And then in month 10, you take all of those clues and you assemble it into your finished quilt top. Look at this. I can't wait to see what this is going to be gorgeous. And Ian's in the chat hustling for y'all too. So there's no competition between us. Please, please, please. I support him. I support everybody. Like I want everybody to grow. Whatever they want, I want for them. But I say all that because if you decide that you're going to do a puzzle mystery quilt and you want to try one out, he's been answering all of your questions in the chat and his code is Ian Village. You can use his. There's no competition between the two of us. There's no competition with any of the ambassadors. I'm not upset if you use someone else's code. Code. I meant code. All right, so here we go. This is it. Look at that. Ah, it's great, right? So I'm going to leave these layout nice and flat. I am going to follow Ian's instruction this time. I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it this one time. And maybe I'll do it in future ones. I'm going to label them 1. I'll put a pin through it with a piece of paper. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to set them on my design board. They're all done. What do you guys think? It's gorgeous, right? Like, I love the fabric. Hey, Katie. Oh, wait, are you guys all going to the So Yeah retreat? Aw. I wish I were there, but I'll be at QuiltCon. Just getting back from QuiltCon, actually. I still have a 9 to 5. I can't take all the time off, but I do want to do a So Yeah retreat soon. So one day I'll be at one of them. One day. Can anyone give the website for the quilter that Becca uses? I cannot find anyone in my area. Most of the time I do them myself, but I occasionally do send quilts out to a gentleman by the name of Tucker. His website is tuckerssewingandquilting.com. Spell it all out. He's a young gentleman. He's 17 years old, and he has more talent in his pinky on that long arm than I think I have in my entire body. Highly recommend. 1 hour and 4 minutes from the Ontario Convention Center to Disneyland. Done. That's close enough. Ian, I think we need to go to Road to California. Oh, Katie's going to be at QuiltCon. She says, yes, we are, but I will be at QuiltCon too, since it is local. Well, I hope you have a ton of fun at the So Yeah retreat, and I hope I get to see you at QuiltCon. Let me get my bucket O FPP, and I'm going to switch gears to this for a little bit, and then we'll end the live stream. Feel like I made, oh, we're going to save this. Georgia McCollum says, oh yeah, I already answered that. Okay, got it. I want to find a place to save all of these pieces. I'm going to put them on top of my blocks because I don't want to lose them. Now, let's get to work. Work, 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 work. Yeah? No? Okay. Sounds good. Need a sip of coffee. Got to stay up all night. Ah. Hello, Anthea. All right. So what am I working on now? A whole different project. What? What? I need to get out all of my fabrics to continue making my blue starbursts. I'm making these. I have 2. I need 5 of this colorway. So I'm going to pull out all of my papers and all of my fabrics. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and show you the other ones that I have. I have a light blue. I have this really pretty maroon. And now I have a dark blue. And then I will have a purple. These will be my stars. So tonight, because I'm not going to get through all of them, I'm just going to work on making 3 more of the blue, and I probably will only get through 1 or 2 because FPP takes a bit longer. Ooh. Lori says, you have 11 months to make plans for Road to California. It is in January. Listen, that might be happening. Like, I've always wanted to go to California. I've always wanted to go to Disneyland. And a quilt show in California next to Disneyland, an hour away. Yeah, yes, please. Like, yes, let's do it. Come on. Road, well, no, not road trip. Too far to drive. How about book me a plane ticket? There you go. That's what I'll say. All right, so I'm going to go back over to the multicam view so that you can kind of see what I'm doing as I go. I've got this. I'm just going to set this here because people are going to say, what are you working on? And now you'll be able to see that. That's what I'm working on. Okay. Please put this out of the way too. Like that. Okay. So I need to just grab my fabric, and I thought I had one semi-pieced, but then I remembered, no, I did not, because I finished it. It's right there. So now I'm just going to get started. Yeah, I saw Ian. We're doing it. Like, it's happening, dude. It's happening. We're going to Road to California in January, and then we're going to go to QuiltCon in Raleigh in February. It's happening. Like, just put it on your calendar. It's happening. Road to California, and the brothers will be there. Donna Faye Bauer is going to be at the So Yeah retreat. Oh my goodness, how many people are going to be at the So Yeah retreat? Look at them having successful retreats. That's awesome. Pack the house, guys. Get it done. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. I'm excited for them. All right. So here we go. I'm just going to line up my raw edges, turn my stitch length way down before I start stitching it with a 2, and get rid of my seam guide because I don't need that in this world. Not in the FPP world, no ma'am. And here we go. What is the name of the quilt you are working on now? I will show you. It is the Atomic Starburst quilt. This is the one that I talked about in my weekly vlog. It's going to look like this when it is all put over here. It's going to look like this when it is all put together. It's by Violet Craft. This is and I am working on the star blocks. These are the ones that I have done already. So I've got several more to go. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. Do you have to have tickets for QuiltCon? I believe so, yes. Ian's been before. I have not. I did buy tickets for QuiltCon, so I'm pretty sure you have to have tickets. However, I will tell you this, the tickets, when I bought them, were $35 for the 4-day admission. However, if you are a member of the Modern Quilt Guild, you could get your tickets for free. So I'm a member of the Modern Quilt Guild now, haha, and so my tickets were free, but the workshops and stuff, of course, were not. A2, A3. That fabric works so well with that pattern. It does. You guys, I don't know if you saw my vlog, but I can't even talk. How this fabric came to be for this pattern was just one of those things where things just fell into place. So I had wanted to do it with some really bright, I can't talk, really bright solids. And we went to the quilt shop to look for some bright solids. I had my heart set on kind of like these, I can't explain them, but there's a specific tone I was looking for, and I felt like I could get them with some art gallery solids. That's what I was originally looking for. And so we go to the store, and I sat looking all like for about a half an hour for the right fabric. I was pulling bolts, I was getting it. I still wasn't quite happy with everything that I was pulling, but I was starting to get into the groove, and I think I was going to eventually make it work. But then my husband called me, and it literally took me right out of that creative space. He didn't do it to be mean, but it was my birthday, and I did have people coming in from out of town to celebrate with me, and we were all going to go out to dinner, and he was trying to see how much longer I was going to be. And I was like, I'm hurrying as fast as I can. And then I realized I didn't want to be rushed picking the fabric, so I would just come back later. I wasn't feeling anything. I didn't feel overly inspired or in love with any fabric that I had picked up. So I just decided I was going to put it away and I'd come back. And then I got in the car and I was really upset because I wanted to start this pattern. I had finished some other projects and I'm trying to juggle like 3 or 4 projects that I'm working on at a time. And so I had bandwidth to start another one, and this was the one I wanted to start, but I didn't have fabric for it. So I started getting a little disappointed. And then I realized there was no reason to get disappointed. I was upset, but the reason I was upset, but I needed to let that go because there was a positive thing to look at. And the positive outlook was I didn't get my fabric that day because I was going home to celebrate my birthday with people that wanted to be around me on my special day. That is not something that you should ever be upset about. So I grabbed hold of the thought that people were with me on my birthday, that we were going to go out for crabs, which is one of my favorite things to do. And I saved money that I didn't end up spending. So I had money still in my pocket that I didn't spend at the quilt shop. And then I started thinking about, I bet I have some beautiful batiks at home that would work with this. And when we got back and I started looking through my fabric stash, I realized I had the Dusk to Dawn batik from Monique Jacobs. This is a fat quarter bundle that I bought when her fabric line came out in March of last year. I absolutely loved it. It's so beautiful. I think I actually even sent one to Ian, maybe even Tiffany, I don't remember. But I remember thinking this fabric line was gorgeous and I never set a project for it. In fact, I forgot that I had the fat quarter bundle. So when I went up and was looking through my fat quarters that I had on the shelf and I saw this, I was like, that's it. It just clinched. So I feel like the solids, the reason why I was so frustrated with it at the quilt shop is because it wasn't meant to be. Sometimes blessings come in disguises. Sometimes you're not meant to do the thing that you thought you were going to do. And that's okay. Gotta roll with the punches, right? Linda, thank you for subscribing. Oh, she followed on Facebook. She's probably not watching. I still have my bundle. I need to figure out something to use it with. You can make a sister quilt. I'm just saying, you could use this with it. We can make the same quilt. How, Ian, can you put the site of the pattern Becca is doing now, please? Thank you. I found this on Etsy. I did look to see if this pattern was on Fat Quarter Shop. It's not there anymore, but you might find it, Ian, if you want to look on Violet Crafts' website. She might have it there, because I actually know she's teaching this pattern, this block, at QuiltCon. So she might have the pattern on her website, Violet Craft. And if not, grab an Amazon link. It's called the Atomic Starburst Quilt. Ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-bum. Becca, did I hear you say that Tucker is only 17? Yes, ma'am. Hi, Lily. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah. I like to save these bigger pieces because they're still small, but they can come in for some of the smaller pieces that I have off in the corners. I'm making weird faces. Work, 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 work. Thanks, Ian. Thanks a lot. Okay. Now we're going to put the little white on the outsides. This one should work. Nope, not that way. Yep, that way. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, I'm still monitoring the chat, so. I did see Lily came in and asked, I think it was Lily, hi, just got here, what did I miss? And you missed me putting together clue number 1 for Village Green Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt. And now I'm moving on to project number 2. And project number 2 is just working on some atomic stars for the Atomic Starburst quilt by Violet Craft. All right, let me get this side done. FPP for the win! Nope. What I'm doing, for those of you that are probably wondering why I'm putting fabric on and then saying nope, I'm testing to make sure just really quickly that when I go to flip this back, the piece is going to cover all of the section that it's intended to cover. Sometimes you gotta angle it just right. S. Taylor wants to know, how is Beetlejuice doing? Oh my gosh, he is a cam. He's great. Does this mean that Piazza is over? Do we get to see the final reveal? Well, no, Piazza is not over. There are a few months out of the year where they always have overlap between their puzzle mystery quilts. And sadly, I don't have one to show you. But Ian's gonna, you'll see the reveal in a couple of months. We'll just leave it there. I had a 1.5 inch by 6.5 inch ruler that I thought was somewhere around here. Maybe I put it in here. There's my seam ripper. No. Those are all my scraps. Oh, so many scraps, and I love them. I love them. Okay, well, not there. I thought I put it in my little carousel. I did. I put it in my little carousel. I put it away. I put it away. Put that over there. What type of dog is Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice is a 6-month, just turned 6-month, 6-month-old Maltipoo. His dad was a poodle and his mom was a Maltese. Is. They're not dead. Is a poodle and is a Maltese. So half poodle, half Maltese. And I'll tell you what, we noticed today when I was walking, I've kind of noticed it before, but I told Jason today when I was outside walking him, he prances like a poodle. He has the poodle prance down. All right, so there's 1/2 of one of my stars. What does the F stand for in FPP? Foundation. FPP is foundation paper piece, and that's actually what I'm doing right now. This is a really calm way to sew. There's not really any measuring, or, well, there can be measuring. I guess it depends on how complicated the pattern is, but the thing that I love about FPP, or foundation paper piecing, is that once you know how to get your fabrics oriented onto your pattern piece, it's kind of just a relaxing way to sew. And you get, as long as you line everything up correctly when you assemble your pieces, because you still do have to join pieces correctly, you get really good results from this. So I love it. It works for me. But I don't do a ton of it. I haven't done anything complicated. I've not done anything big. Ooh. But I do like doing it. I like the way it looks. What I like FPP for is getting irregular shapes like this, because I wouldn't be able to get this easily traditional piecing. You know what I mean? You can see it when he runs to. Ian said, yeah, you can. He's like, hello, June. Grandma's Quilts and Creation says, I ordered a legit kit to try. I thought I could learn as you do yours. Well, as I find out tips and tricks while I'm doing mine, I will let you know. Tiffany, though, does have a 20-week, she's on week 20, I believe. She's done, oops, this is wrong side to wrong side. Let me fix this. She has done, or is doing, the Skulliver with legit kits, and it is a really big quilt, and she's doing weekly videos showing you her progress and what she's doing. So if you're ready to dive in now and you're looking for that in-depth tutorial on how to handle legit kits, I know she's got hers out there, so you can check those out. She would love it if you would check out her videos. So you can get to her channel by doing !TIFF in the chat. I'll just put that over there. We're going to flip and press. Halloween theme song. Thanks, Becca. You're welcome. Daylight come and we want to go home. Why are we... Oh, Beetlejuice, I see. Yes. Okay. Ha, you're so funny. Tiff is doing an amazing job, and she is creating her blocks now. Yes, she is. I didn't think I could do one, and I still have... The jury's still out. We'll see. I don't consider myself to be anything other than a beginner when it comes to FPP. So I'm not an expert by any means, This is something I just kind of stay in the shallow end of the pool, and I feel like I just bit off something. We're going to see if I can swim. But you never know what you can do until you try, right? While I'm thinking of it, oh, got it. Okay. While I'm thinking of it, if you are not part of my VIP program on my website, exclamation VIP will get you information in the chat. But if you are not a VIP member, you might want to consider subscribing, because in March, at the end of March, we're going to do a 36-hour Zoom sew-in. This is going to be a virtual retreat where we're going to have music and breakout rooms, and we're just going to come together. The Zoom will be open for 36 hours. We're just going to hang out and sew and work on whatever we've got that weekend. So, Yo Patty G says, are you using an 1/8 inch ruler and not a 1/4 inch ruler, and why? And the answer is, you have lots of FPP friends that can help, Becca. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. The answer is yes, I am using the add an 1/8 ruler. And the add an 1/8 ruler, I am using this because these little pieces are so dang tiny. I just felt like an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance was a little bit better, but there's no wrong way to do this. I could have used the add a 1/4. I just wanted to use the add an 1/8. It's my quilt, my rules. Your quilt, your rules. Don't do something just because somebody tells you that's what you have to do. Does that make sense? Do what makes sense for you. I felt like the pieces were tiny, and that's why I wanted to go with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, maybe to reduce the bulk a little bit. Somebody's asking in the chat what the name of the fabric line is. This is Dusk to Dawn by Monique Jacobs. This was a fabric line that she released in springtime of last year. It's out of print now, but I'm sure you can find some folks on Etsy that still have it if you are enjoying what this looks like. By the way, she's got a new fabric line coming out this year for Christmas. And I was on Fat Quarter Shop's website earlier today, and I noticed they're carrying it. They're going to carry her line, and I am beyond thrilled for her. She has designed a line that Fat Quarter Shop is going to carry. So if you go to Fat Quarter Shop and you type in Monique Jacobs, you'll be able to see her new Christmas line, and you can put in a reservation for it. So when it comes in, you can get your hands on it. All right. Patty says, thanks. I figured that was the reason. Yeah. I just figure when you've got really tiny bits, maybe a smaller seam allowance is a good idea for bulk reasons. Hi, Renee. She says, I'm new. Been watching, caught first live chat. Well, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. There are no quilt police. Do what you like. Absolutely. Your quilt, your rules. And if somebody doesn't like your rules, they don't have to watch you make the quilt. Susie says, happy dance, happy dance. I just bought 2 layer cakes of Dusk to Dawn. I love this fabric. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. June says, your blocks are beautiful, Miss Becca. Thank you, June. Lori says, Maureen McCormick, Marcia from the Brady Bunch, is designing fabric now. Yeah, this is actually her second line with Moda, I believe. Whoa. Somebody just ordered. Kathy says, yay, I just ordered the small begonia kit. I vacillated between the lavender, but yours looks so pretty. Thanks. You're welcome. I hope you enjoy it as much as I am. And they are much prettier in person than they are on camera. So really excited for you to get started. Gorgeous. Kayla Quilt says, I just absolutely love the way FPP looks. I don't know why I've never tried doing it. I love English paper and sewing by hand. Diana Sewing Adventure says, does the Atomic Starburst quilt pattern have the template for FPP? Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. She doesn't have templates to cut out the pieces, though, if that's what you're asking for. It's just the papers. But if you do decide to do this, I will tell you what I found is the pieces that I'm using for this. I just cut a bunch of 1.5 inch by 6.5 inch. You can make that a little bit longer and maybe a little bit narrower, and that's worked really well for this. And then for the white, I've been just using 1, 2, 3.5 by 6.5 inch pieces. It is producing quite a bit of waste. There's probably a better way that you can cut the pieces out to save more of that fabric, but I just embrace that FPP is going to produce waste and I don't stress about it. That's my rule for FPP. I'm going to have waste. I'm not going to be able to save all the fabric. Where do you get your paper piecing patterns? Well, this one I got in a Sew Sampler box a couple years ago. But you can buy them everywhere. Etsy has a ton of really cute blocks. Any quilt shop will have them. Nancy says FPP is my favorite technique. Oh, Rochelle, that's so fun. That's so true. She said the world's greatest quilter was once a beginner. That's right. Katina says, I love FPP. It is so easy. I mean, you're sewing on the line. I think that the trick for FPP for me comes when you start to join the blocks. That's the part where I can feel intimidated because I want everything to line up. But this piece is pretty easy. Okay, now I'm going to do the little bits of white on the other ends, and they'll have 2 halves of that star that we can put together. Jose says, hi, Becca. I love what you're doing. It's a beautiful pattern. Good job. High five. Hello, and thank you. I think I can use, no, that one's too small. But this one's going to be a good chunk. We'll use this and this. I'll flip it, smack it, flip it. Somebody out there just finished that lyric in their head. You're welcome. Wow, it's 10 o'clock already. Okay, I'm going to finish this block and then we'll be done. I can't believe that time flies when you're FPPing. Lily says, I am convinced that Tucker was born with knowledge on how to quilt. I mean, maybe? Karen says, I'm surprised at how quickly that block goes together for you. It's relatively easy. I mean, you just line up your pieces. And here's the thing. If you cut generously, then FPP does go together pretty easily because you don't have to, you just trim it up. That's the way that I prefer to do FPP. I know not a lot of people like to do it that way because they want to save all their fabric. I cut generously and then I just trim it down after I've sewn it on. Hi, Lisa. She says, I love what you're working on. It makes me want to pull out an FPP pattern. Do it. I dare you. You guys, if you don't know about Lisa's swap group, I'll give her a plug really quick. Exclamation Lisa Marie in the chat. We'll get you a link to her Facebook group. She coordinates wonderful swap groups on Facebook. I have never been disappointed with a single swap I did in that group. I don't really do swaps much anymore, but I highly recommend hers. Once in a while, I'll get excited to do a swap, but I'm so busy with all the things going on between work and YouTube and family. I always feel like I'm behind when I end up mailing it. So I have to put myself on restriction. Otherwise, it just ends up hanging over my head. And I feel bad because I didn't get stuff out on time. And that's not fair to my swap partner, you know? All right, now we've got two halves and I'm going to join them together. So I'm going to grab, I've got two pins actually in the side of my wool mat, which is where I go. Kristen says, very new to your page. What time does the live on Friday start? I always start at 8 p.m. And I go until 10 and it's 10 o'clock. So we're going to go just a couple minutes over. So I'm going to finish this block before I end the live stream. Nope. I'm going to stab it right through the fabric and the paper. Oh, nope, that's not it either. Get it in the corner, right there, right in the corner. Corner to corner. Okay. Give me my clip. I'll use these. So while we're wrapping up tonight, let's just talk about things that you can do this weekend. Because all of my content creator friends, all of my moderators that are in the chat have live streams this weekend, and it all kicks off tomorrow morning with Sean from The Guy Who Sews. He does a live stream that he dubs Brekkie with Sean, and he's going to have one tomorrow morning with Tucker, who we've been talking about in the chat. He'll be on Sean's live stream tomorrow, and then I believe starting on Sunday, we've got Tiffany, Ian, and Teresa all go live on Sunday. I think that's right. And I just saw a text come through with a message from somebody in the chat that Ian wanted to get my attention on. He says, from Gwenny Simpson, it's not 10 o'clock for all of us. You can run over. We will stay on. Oh, you're so kind. I mean, I could literally sit here all night, but nobody wants to see me sit here all night. That's not fair. I don't want to take up all of your time. Oh, I don't like that. I went off a little bit. Let me get my seam ripper and fix that. Okay, I'm not going to go digging for that one. I'm just going to grab another one. Maybe? Where did it go? Where did it go now? Here it is. These. When I'm doing FPP, I found today, this is a new thing for me, I found today that I like these surgical seam rippers where you just saw in here. I just put it up against the thread and rub it against the seam, and look how easy that's coming out. The paper still has the perforation in it, but I feel like I'm less prone to actually ripping the paper because I'm not pulling on the paper. So I just wanted to rip that seam out really quick and redo it. Let's try it again. Pet Straw House. Ooh, Mama Pop 12-hour live stream tomorrow. You guys make sure to stop in and say hi to Mama Pop tomorrow. They're doing a 12-hour live stream. I'll stop in at some point tomorrow. I don't know when. Probably in the afternoon, sometime after 12. Maybe, or maybe in the morning. Who knows? Thanks, Pat, for letting us know. Okay, now I'm going to rip out this paper that was in that seam. So that I can press the seam open. I want to get the paper out of here. There we go. All right, I'm going to press this open. Just like that. There we go. Sojo Quilty Stitchy Thing says, I'm a night owl. I'll stay up all night with you. There we go. All right. I've got a few threads in there from that seam that I ripped, but there is my next block. So now I've got 3 of those done, and I've got 2 more to do, but I'm not going to do them on live stream. I'm just going to, I need to actually cut some more white because I'm about out of those little white rectangles, and I know I'm going to need more for the blues. I'm going to need some for the purple. So here's my little spiel. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here because I'm ending the live. But I can tell you where you can go tonight. Donna from Handmade by Ying is live on her channel probably right about now, so you can hop over there. And when this live stream ends, if you're just sitting in your sewing room working on something, it's going to automatically redirect you to Donna's channel, so you can jump in there and watch what they're sewing. I think they're working on their elephant, and Tucker is there as well. Tomorrow morning, Sean from The Guy Who Sews. Oh, why am I still on the overhead shot? I'm talking to you guys. Isn't it rude for you to look at my hands while I'm talking to you? Anyway, so tonight Donna is live for probably about an hour or two. Tomorrow morning at, I think, 8 a.m. Eastern time, Sean is live. And then Sunday it's Ian and then Ian and then Teresa and then Tiffany. And it all starts, I think, at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you guys so sorry, I just read Lisa's comment and my train of thought went away. She says, I like it when you pop into Donna's live. Lots of fun to see you all together. Oh, well, maybe I'll go ask Donna for a Zoom link. Thank you, friends, for hanging out with me. I'll see you all on Thursday for the vlog. And next Friday, we will be working on the Open Gates quilt box. I'll see you all then. Bye.